My family, mother and father, both felt very much that they were Germans. They were not Jewish. They were Germans first, Germans second, German third, and then they were of the Jewish religion. The sudden change from a so-called democracy, the Weimar Republic, to a dictatorship was extremely difficult. And I kept asking my mother, Mom, what will happen now? And she said, I don't know. All I know is the man who hates us is now the person who can lead and direct what's going to happen in Germany. My mother received a phone call from whom I never found out, in which she said, don't let Robert go out on the street tonight. Don't keep him in the house. Don't let him go out. To this day, I don't know who called her, but she listened. And so all I experienced on Crystal Night, I was at home. Nothing happened to me at home, except the next day I had to go to work. I was terrified. When I saw all the things, there were stores along the street. Some of them were owned by Jews. They were smashed in. I saw the merchandise ripped out, and some of it was still on the street. People everywhere on the streets looking at, gawking, and so forth. And that was about the extent of it. And the destruction was most all in West Berlin. I have been listening to the radio, and the radio, if I remember that correctly today, was a mixture of music and then the announcer saying that the people in Nuremberg have eradicated all traces of Judaism and so forth. So it was weird. It was very, very weird. My biological father was arrested on the night of 10 November and brought to the Sachsenhausen concentration camp. Somehow my aunt got him a visa. She bribed the consul. I think it was the one from, I don't know, San Salvador or one of those countries. But he got on a ship and got out. And then he went to America. I think in 1940 or 41, he went to America. And he got on the quota and so forth. And then tragically, he died while I was on a ship to see him. When the war was over in 47, I got on a ship on the 11th of February 47, and he died on the 12th. In 1938, we were kicked out of our apartment. We received a letter, I think it was November of 1938, and these guys had the nerve to write that the Aryan renters in this apartment building can no longer accept the fact that they have to live with a Jew under the same roof. And please leave as soon as you can. You got 14 days to find another place. Now, that affects you personally. You know, I mean, there's no way out about it. We had paid always our rent on time and never done any reason, but then the Aryan renters, who probably knew nothing about it because it was written by the association who owned the building. But those are things which hit you personally. Kristallnacht to me was difficult for me to associate with the type of Germans my parents talked about. I'll give you a story. One day I was standing at the street corner. I was trying to cross the street. There was a red light, so I waited. And suddenly I heard a music, a pipe and drum type music, and a bunch of Hitler youth came by. Neat, orderly, had a flag, they had their brown belts on, they had their little daggers, which had the words blood and honor written onto them. And I stood there in the sidewalk, and I said, why in the blazes can I not march with them? Now, you know, if you're looking back and saying maybe you're lucky you didn't, and sure. But at that moment, standing on that corner, I wanted with all my heart to be part of this group of young Hitler Youth who were marching by there, looking healthy, happy, content, determined, and I want to be part of this. And not being able, I went home and told my mother that story. And of course she said, well, you haven't missed anything, you know. And but she understood. She understood because she too wanted to be German.